Inspired Insight, back with another. So, I hope everyone's doing amazing, my friends. I love each and every one of you that watch my videos, my friends, and I appreciate each and every one of you, my friends. Here on this channel, my friends, what my duty is, my friends, is to let you know exactly what you need to know at a given time in your life, my friends. I am channeling these messages straight from source itself, straight from the cosmos, my friends, and I'm very grateful for anything that the cosmos decides to give me as far as information to help you, my friends. I'm very grateful for that, because a lot of times, my friends, it turns out that I'm helping myself whenever I help you with these readings, my friends. So it's like a, two birds type thing, my friends. Two birds, one reading type shit, my friends. And these cards kind of got stuck together because I spilled some popsicle on them last night, my friends. But we're gonna have to roll with the blows on this one, right? So Source, I pray that you are going to give me exactly what these people need to hear at this given time in their life, and so they can overcome any problems or dilemmas they may be facing. Or also, if you want to make this a encouragemental read, I'm totally open for that. I'm open for whatever you want to do, Source. I am your mouthpiece, my friends. I am your vessel. I'm talking to Source, my friends. I am your way into these people's lives, my friends. Okay, my friends, I think the energy's right. I think I'm grounded. I think I am connected to Source, my friends. So the energy I was getting before any of this, my friends, was that someone is watching you. Someone's paying attention to you, my friends. Someone's been paying attention to you, my friend. This might be a twin flame energy, maybe ex-twin flame energy. You might even still be in a situationship with this person, my friend. And they let's see, my friends. Because what I was getting earlier was that they feel like you're abandoning them, my friends. They feel like you're abandoning them, my friends. They feel like they didn't get the closure that they wanted or feel that they deserved, my friend. And that's their perception of the situation, my friends. You might very well feel like you cut the cord fair enough, my friend. You might feel that they got all the information they needed as far as why you are distancing yourself from them and don't want anything to do with them, quite frankly, my friends. But let me see here. Let me just get a little bit of information, my friends. So the police could have something to do with this, my friend. There could be a open case, an open investigation, my friends. They might feel like you're running away. They kind of feel like you're running away from them, and they feel like you owe them some closure, my friends. And that's it, and that's to be expected, right? Because I'm getting that this type of relationship wasn't your average everyday run of the mill relationship, my friend. You might have really let your walls down and let this person in, and you might conversely have gotten them to lower their walls all the way down, and you got to see the parts of them that they don't publicly display, my friend. You basically, you and this person know each other really well, is what I'm getting. And see, my friends, and I'm getting anger management. So they could have anger problems, something to do with anger. This could be part of the reason why you are separating your energy from them in the first place, because anger issues, my friends. Let's see what else we got here. What was that? So there's a secret, my friend. There's some kind of a secret in play as well. So could be celebrity, huh? So I'm gonna take that as far as some different energy, my friends. Or maybe hell, you may be a celebrity, my friends. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's plausible. It's not probable, my friends, but it's plausible. um, okay, so a motel may be significant. This could be where you told them to fuck off, my friends. You could have done that at a motel, a hotel. Sexual protection. You may what I'm getting. I just now got this this feeling, but something may have to do with a video, my friends. There could be some type of videos that are circulate or that have gotten out per se that might be very defaming to you or detrimental to your image, my friend. And they could be the conspirator that got these videos and is trying to ultimately they no, I'm not gonna get it. I'm not gonna go that way with it, my friends. I just feel like you might need to better explain to this person why you are drawing back and why you don't want to mess with them anymore, my friends. You could honestly just be blunt and say that it's because you're a fucking asshole. I'm not saying this person is a narcissist. I'm not saying this person is evil or anything like that, my friend. I'm just saying this person might be an asshole sometimes, my friends. A lot of times when girls are just claiming that they married the most narcissistic fucking evil beast to ever walk this earth, my friend, a lot of times I'm willing to put money on that he's just an asshole sometimes, my friends. These labels that we get for people, just kind of like okay, so Charles Manson, my friend, was a narcissist. Charles Manson was a narcissist. What's the there's a word for the most highest level of narcissist. That was what Charles Manson is, my friends. But your boyfriend or husband that just kind of will fib here and there, will kind of lie to get his way about certain things, maybe maybe they lie about their image, maybe they try to display an image that isn't who they really are, my friends. And you and them were so close that you kind of tried to get them to snap back into reality, my friends. They might have just lost their touch with reality, my friend, and they might have either their ego or their pride or something of the matter, my friends. They see that's what this tarot reading stuff, my friend. I can only tap in so far to a certain energy, right? I don't know why. I don't know the whys of the shit. I just know what's I just know what source wants me to tell you that you need to hear, my friend. Maybe you need to break the news. Maybe you need to explain it to them in a different way of why you're pulling back your energy or why you don't want to mess with them. But literally, I keep coming back to this because I think that's very, very significant in this is anger, my friends. This person might just have some anger issues that they need to work through, and you might be even be able to help them work through these situations, my friend. You might be able to, since you are tapped in with them on a soul level and you do know so much about each other, and you may have even shared a lot of secrets together, my friends. This person just feels like you're going to leave their energy and then go gossip about them and try to, not even try, but they think you're literally talking shit about them to everyone, and they think you're throwing them under the bus. They think you're telling everyone all their secrets. And my friend, you're not like that. I know that whoever this reading is for, my friends, you're a little bit better of a person than that. You're not that low, my friends. But on the opposite side of this coin, you could literally ruin this person's life. You know some things about this person, my friend, that could honestly send them to prison. So it's like you wouldn't do that though, my friend. You wouldn't do that, and they honestly think that's where this is headed. They think that that you have no more, not even use, but they don't think you want anything to do with them, which you might really not. You might really not want anything to do with them. But my friends, you're not going to go and slander their name and put them down and talk shit about them. You might tell people what really happened and the true nature of the situation, but you're not going to go run their name through the mud. You know, you're not like that, my friend. But you could. And that's what they don't want, my friend. So yeah, that was just a quick little energy gauge, my friend.